Today, we will study about virtualization. Imagine a world where one computer can act like many. That's the magic of virtualization. It's like creating multiple rooms in a single apartment, each with its own furniture and purpose. In the tech world, these rooms are virtual machines running on a single physical machine. Now let's think in a detailed way. Think of your computer resources like the processors, memory, storage, these as an apartment. Think of it as creating multiple computers, that is the virtual machines, on a single physical computer. Virtualization lets you create virtual machines like separate rooms within that apartment. Each virtual machine can run its own operating system and applications, just like separate computers. Let's take a real-life example of it. Think of an apartment building. Each apartment is a virtual machine with its own tenant. These are the operating system and furnitures. These are the applications, all existing within the same physical building, that is the computer. Now, let's study about the types of virtualization, that is the taxonomy. Number 1, hardware virtual machine, that is HVM. This type of virtual machine allows the virtual machine to access the physical hardware resources of the underlying computer, like its processor and memory. Let's create a complete virtual environment, like a whole apartment with its own furnitures, that is the hardware resources. Works with any operating system. Number 2, desktop virtualization. It creates virtual desktops that users access remotely, like accessing a work computer from home. Provides a virtual desktop experience like a pre-furnished room with specific software. Let's take a real-life example of it. Imagine a company where employees work from home. That is, the employees do work from home. They can access their virtual desktops remotely, as if they are sitting at their office computer. Ideal for remote work or managing many users. Now number 3, server virtualization. It creates virtual servers that run applications and services like a web server or database server. Let's take an example of it. A company might virtualize its web server to handle more traffic or easily scale resources up or down. Now just think of it like this. HVM is a blank room you can customize, while desktop virtualization is a pre-decorated workspace. Now our next topic is virtual servers. VMs, that is virtual machine, can act as servers, handling tasks like email or databases. This allows for better resource allocation and easier management. Now, what are the benefits of it? Number 1 is cost efficiency, which means it reduces the need for physical hardware, lowering capital and operational cost. Number 2 is scalability. Easily add or remove virtual servers based on demand, providing flexibility also. Number 3 is isolation. Each virtual server operates independently, preventing issues in one from affecting others. Number 4 is management. That means it simplifies IT management through centralized control and automated provisioning. Let's take an example keeping in mind the real-life business scenarios. A small business using virtual servers to run its e-commerce website, customer database, and internal email system on a single physical server, reducing cost and improving manageability. Let's study about virtualization versus private cloud. In virtualization, it creates multiple virtual machines, that is VM, on a single machine for efficiency, like creating rooms in an apartment. But in private cloud, it delivers similar services as a public cloud, like renting an entire apartment building with multiple rooms. But of course, for a single organization and giving them more control. Just imagine virtualization lets you manage multiple rooms efficiently in your own apartment, whereas a private cloud is like owning your own apartment building with multiple rooms for your exclusive use. If we consider an example of it, then a university using a private cloud to allow researchers to quickly deploy virtual machines and storage for their projects, ensuring efficient use of IT resources. Logical network parameter and network virtualization. Imagine creating virtual networks within a physical network. Now, logical network parameter defines the security boundary for a virtual network, whereas network virtualization creates virtual network within a physical network, improving flexibility and security. Think of it like dividing your apartment building's plumbing and electrical system to serve individual room or to serve the individual objectives. Let's take an example. A company can have multiple virtual servers for different departments like sales, marketing, etc. and virtual networks for secure communication between them. Okay, now, if we consider another example, then a company might create a separate virtual network for its sensitive financial data to enhance security. Data center virtualization. It refers to virtualizing all the resources in a data center, including servers, storage, and networking. Applies virtualization across an entire data center like a large facility housing many physical servers. Okay, for increased efficiency and resource utilization. Let's take an example. An online retailer virtualizing its data center to manage seasonal spikes in website traffic, scaling up resources during high demand period, and scaling down when not needed. Now we will study about cloud management. The first thing within it is cloud storage device. What are this cloud storage device? These are a virtual storage device accessed through the cloud, like Dropbox or Google Drive. Or we can say cloud storage provide on-demand, off-site storage like a secure rental locker outside your apartment building. An example which we can take over here is a marketing agency using cloud storage to store and share large media files with clients, improving collaboration and project delivery times. Next thing is cloud usage monitor. It tracks resources consumption to optimize cost and performance. Let's take an example of it. A financial service company using a cloud usage monitor to track and manage cloud cost, ensuring they stay within budget while maintaining optional performance for their applications. Just imagine a large company. They can virtualize their entire data center, like creating multiple rooms with different purpose in a large building. They can then use cloud storage for backup and access data remotely while monitoring uses to ensure efficiency. Now, next topic is resource replication. What is this resource replication? Creating copies of virtual machines or data in different locations for backup and disaster recovery purposes. Think of having a backup apartment in case of an emergency. Now, if we relate with the real world, then imagine having a backup of your important work files stored in a separate location in case your computer crashes. Okay, so thank you everyone.